Hello, I'm Claire Smith and welcome to my channel. So today I've got 3 new perfumes. I have been blind buying again. I did a no buy during February and March and it seems to have made me a little bit crazy. I've been buying lots and lots of perfume this month, so I've got quite a few to talk through and I've still got more to show on my channel. So if you're interested in seeing some new perfumes, then please consider subscribing because I will have some more videos like this. So the first perfume is actually this one. So this is Gucci Bloom Nettare Di Fiori. So Nettare Di Fiori means flower nectar, and this is a flanker of the original Gucci Bloom. So Gucci Bloom came out in 2016 and was formulated by Alberto Morillas, so the guy who made Daisy amongst hundreds of other perfumes, but that really is the one that he's truly famous for. So this flanker came out in 2018. And the difference between this one and the original is that this perfume contains ginger and rose. So the original is known as the sort of the modern white floral, and it's famous for having a note of Rangoon creeper. So I didn't know what a Rangoon creeper was, so I had to look it up. So apparently it's a flower that blooms only at dusk, which sounds quite romantic, doesn't it? But it also is supposed to smell like honeysuckle and white flowers. So this perfume has honeysuckle and white flowers in it already, as well as the Rangoon creeper note. So I imagine that they just add to each other and amp each other up, really. I find this perfume very on the edge. It's on the edge of something that I don't like, but I think because it's so on the edge, it pushes it such to the boundary of my tastes. I do really love this perfume and I have been really enjoying it. I think the thing that puts this perfume on the edge for me is the fact that it's right at my tolerance level of the indolic kind of feeling for me. It's really strong on the jasmine and it's really strong on the tuberose, and there's that kind of almost dirty feeling at points in this fragrance. It almost gets there, but it doesn't quite. And that is what is so kind of irresistible to me, because it's just, I kind of smell it and then I have to smell it again because I don't quite believe it. So this I would describe as like a white, creamy, very elegant floral perfume. It's very sweet and it becomes sweeter in the dry down, and I think actually as it dries down I like it more and more. I think it's got really good projection and I think it's got really good lasting power actually. I have worn this to work, I've had people comment on this perfume, so it really is one that people can smell on you, and I just think that it's a very elegant and classy perfume. I can imagine myself wearing this to a wedding. It's quite spring-like as well. I think it's definitely of the season right now. It's just really refreshing. It's made me really want to try the other flankers because I know that people really like the red one. I can't remember exactly what that one's called, but the red Gucci Bloom flanker. And yeah, I'm really taken with this one. I think that this could definitely, if I wasn't someone who bought a lot of perfume and who didn't have a lot of perfumes and didn't want to wear all my perfumes, this one really could be my signature scent. So yeah, that's Gucci Bloom Nettare Di Fiori. Definitely a love from me. So the next perfume is actually one that I kind of got interested in through doing that honey perfumes video. So I've seen a few people talk about this one and really love this perfume. I've seen Paola Bianca say that this is one of her hardcore, like, loves for life kind of scents. I've seen Bibi Motsumi say that this is a really elegant perfume. I think she bought it recently. I have seen Lisa Snow say that this perfume is perfect for a job interview, and when I was researching for my solar perfumes video, I've also seen people describe this as a solar perfume, and that is Elie Saab Le Parfum. So this one I have actually bought a tester bottle, as you can see, and that's why it may look partially used and doesn't have a lid. But you know, I can live with that because it was much cheaper. So this perfume came out in 2011 and was actually formulated by Francis Kurkdjian. I think in his blurb on Fragrantica, it says that he formulated 279 versions of this perfume before he decided on this one. And yep, I think this one smells really classy. I think there were all these people who have reviewed this perfume and told me about it and said that it's a great honey perfume in my honey perfumes video. They were all right. This is a great honey perfume and it's a really nice white floral. So if you're into white florals, if you love honey, this is definitely one you should check out. I think actually if you like the Armani Code perfume that I talked about in my Honey Perfumes video, you would definitely also like this perfume. I think this is just like a little bit more office friendly compared with Armani Code, a little bit less sexy, but still very sophisticated, very classy kind of perfume. I imagine weddings again with this one. It's very wedding appropriate to me. It feels quite adult. I'm not really one who really wears a lot of adult perfumes. I quite like my sort of fun fruity perfumes, but this one definitely makes me feel grown up and like an adult and like I know what I'm doing with my life. So yeah, I think this is probably, you know, good for work. I'm not sure I would wear it to a job interview because it is quite strong, and I'm not sure whether, you know, in a small room you might offend someone potentially with this one. I think I'd be a bit hesitant to wear this to a job interview. So this is just a really rich jasmine, orange flower and honey perfume, and the base to me really doesn't figure much in this perfume. It's just got a very light background of the cedar, rose and the patchouli. It's not really important, the base in this perfume at all. It doesn't even really come through in the dry down. This is just very, very background. It's just mainly the honey, the jasmine and the orange flower, and yeah, the base just doesn't really figure. It's a very linear perfume. It stays very similar throughout its life. I think that it's very long lasting. It's got amazing projection. I really don't think that you need too many sprays of this one before you would knock out a room. I think you would definitely have to be careful with this one if you are an oversprayer. It's really reasonably priced as well, this perfume. To me, this perfume doesn't feel entirely of its time. It feels to me like it could be something from the 80s. It's got that kind of power suit kind of vibe to it. It feels very much like you are the boss wearing this one. It makes Nettare Di Fiori look like a really light pussy perfume, you know, and it's not. Nettare Di Fiori is a serious white floral. So yeah, this feels very, very classic, and I'm going to enjoy wearing it. I think that this will definitely have its posh occasions for me to rock it to. And yeah, I would wear this one to work. So that's Elie Saab Parfum. So the third fragrance that I've bought recently is actually one I've had my eye on for a long, long time. And I've been trying to decide between all of the different variants of this perfume, whether to go for one of the original ones or whether to go for the newer kind of red flanker, and I just couldn't decide. But in the end I went for this one. So this is another tester bottle that I've bought, and this is Narciso Rodriguez Narciso Eau de Parfum Poudrée. So Narciso Poudrée is a really powdery rose musk scent. There's not really much more to this perfume than that. I think the original Narciso Eau de Parfum in the cube bottle does have a cedar note, but I don't really get the cedar in this perfume at all. It's very, very much powdery rose, really a dry, dusty, powdery rose. That doesn't sound very nice, does it? But it actually is really kind of classy. It just smells very, very feminine, very much like one of those makeup smells, but without that iris in it. So this perfume is like a light, powdery rose scent. It's also got a kind of background, sort of slightly spicy, warm coumarin kind of almost vanilla but not vanilla feeling to it. But it's really very much more the powderiness and the dusty kind of rose feeling from this perfume rather than the coumarin. I don't really smell any base to this at all, other than the musk. I don't smell the cedar. There is also supposed to be jasmine in this, but it's definitely very much a background kind of jasmine. If this perfume were a shop, I'd think of the White Company. It feels very clean, very, you know, definitely a very pastel colour or a very white colour. It's not a loud perfume, but it is very long lasting, and it does have quite good projection, but it's still, you know, not in your face at all. If you want a perfume that is just ultra feminine, this one is definitely one that you should check out. So having said that this perfume is a powdery perfume, it did remind me of another perfume in my collection, and that one is Jil Sander Simply Poudrée. But I would say that these two perfumes are really quite different, and you could have both. So this one is very much less sweet. This one is more kind of custardy, vanilla kind of sweet. And this one is creamier. It's got that rice note in it, and this one is less creamy, more musky. So there is quite a big difference between these perfumes. Both are really long lasting though. So if you do prefer a sweeter perfume, then I would go for this one. It's also a lot cheaper. This perfume feels very informal to me, but still classy. So it feels like, you know, a very luxurious sofa that is really well loved and is really soft and squidgy and is draped in, I don't know, cashmere blankets, and it's, you know, somewhere that you go and snuggle. This is a very kind of jumper scent to me. It feels very soft and warming. It feels like something comforting. I think it's just the powdery nature of these scents. It's just what I associate with that kind of scent. For me, it's not something that I would wear as a signature, but I can see that it would be a signature scent for a lot of people. I don't think that if I had smelled this in a shop, I would have picked it up and bought it. I don't think this is a love for me for sure, but I do enjoy it, and that's Narciso Eau de Parfum Poudrée. So out of those three scents, which ones are my favourites? So I would say that I like this one, and I would say that I like this one. I think I can see more wear out of this one because it's just a little bit more present than this one is. But I think ultimately my favourite is definitely this one for sure. This one I could see as a signature, as I've said. So this one is really the winner of these three for me, but it might not be for you. So please let me know what you think of these perfumes, if you've tried any of them, and if you can suggest any perfumes that you think I might like based on my thoughts on those three perfumes. So if you've enjoyed the video, please give me a like, and please consider subscribing if you haven't already. I've got a few more perfumes to show you in the coming weeks, so please stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye.